So I've had my YouTube photography channel running for 2 months now, and I have something that I need to confess. I have not one, but two of these. The other one is in my office at work, and this is really hard. Don't get me wrong, it's also been a lot of fun, and I'm very excited to continue sharing the channel with you, but I just felt like I needed to take a moment and talk about how hard this channel has been to do and some of the struggles that I've encountered along the way. So this officially marks my 8th video 2 months into the channel, and I did want to talk a little bit about some of the struggles that I've encountered along the way, because among the many people who have reached out to me are other people who are also thinking about starting their own YouTube photography channels. And so I thought, well, maybe somebody can relate to this, but at the very least I can vent about some of the struggles and troubles that I've had with the channel since I started. And like I showed you at the beginning, yes, this is an Emmy Award. This is for the Boston, New England chapter of the Emmys. So I work in video production. I'm a producer and a videographer, and I've been fortunate to win 2 of these in my career. I've been nominated lots of times, and both of my awards are specifically for videography and photography. But I gotta say, making these videos here on YouTube is really hard. The combination of being the photographer and having years of experience going out and only having to focus on the photography, and now introducing the video element into that, has been such a challenge. I've had moments where I've thought, okay, I have figured this out. I know how to do this now. And then something else goes wrong, a mistake that either I make or a mistake that happens with my equipment. So first, I should probably rewind a little bit. The biggest test was when I went to New Hampshire. This was back in October, and I filmed those 3 videos first, though they are not the first 3 videos that you see on the channel. And with each day that I was on that fall photography trip, I got more and more confident with my videos. One thing that I learned is that everything I film here, you should know, is on a phone. I have the iPhone 16 Pro, and I learned that the best tool for me to use in order to make those videos possible is this tripod here. So I have this clamp, phone clamps in there. Let's go try and get a full moon. And this tripod, which is actually the first photography tripod I ever had, is so amazing. But originally, I tried using a gimbal, and I'll talk about that later, because it plays a role in one of the other issues that I had with a later video on the channel. So this is what I use to film everything on the channel, and then in addition to that, I have my tripod that I use for my camera to take the photos that you see on the channel. So fall photography trip goes really well, and then in November I had the moment where I said, yes, I have finally found what will be the first video to start the channel, which was being in the right places for the best sunrises, because that was just such an amazing morning.
All right, let me see if I can show you what this looks like here in camera. Oh, that's so good.
When I was doing those videos, I was using this Rode microphone, which is a great microphone. There's one thing about this microphone, the audio, the gain on this has 3 levels, and I can almost never use the highest gain level because it ends up being way too loud. And sure enough, I went out, I filmed an entire morning's worth of content on an incredible sunrise, and the gain was all the way up. So the audio that you hear in that first video originally sounded like this.
Oh, I've been here times where the water has been calm, but
eventually ended up sounding like
I've
this.
certainly never, ever been here where the sunrise looks this amazing. Oh.
Which was suitable. It was tolerable for the first video, but I was honestly pretty disappointed that I had made that mistake. So I realized that if I was going to do this, I needed to transition away from this microphone kit, in part because it doesn't connect to my phone, and I'm filming on my phone, which leads me to what I am using now. I'm using the DJI Mic Mini, and I think at some point I'm going to do a review, probably soon, about just this microphone alone, because I think there is a really important conversation to have, especially for vloggers, about using a microphone like this. So I've fully transitioned to this mic, in part because it goes directly into my iPhone, which I'm recording on now. So the second video on my channel, I went out in the snow. All right, well, it's still snowing, so that's a good sign. I'm very happy with that video, but I'm not happy with the picture that I took. I wanted to go out and show what it would be like on a snowy morning, and I guess I did. The picture is okay of the independent man on top of the State House, but I kind of messed up my shutter speed, which if I had not been out trying to film as well, my brain might have been thinking about that because I would have been more focused on the photography. But I received a piece of advice from watching a video from one of the landscape photographers that inspired me to start this channel. Many of you probably also watch Thomas Heaton's videos, and he talked about in a video about starting a YouTube channel that you can go out on a shoot and have one of two approaches. You can either say to yourself, this is a photography shoot, or you can go out and say, this is a video shoot. And I thought that was such great advice, and I've really lived by it. I go out for video shoots now. I don't go out for photo shoots. And there's gonna be a price that I pay early on in this channel, and probably for even longer than that, where my pictures aren't going to be as good as I would want them to be. Then there's the morning where I went out to start photographing on my own terms, and I'm really happy that I've started doing that. It's really changed the way I'm looking at this whole endeavor of starting a channel, because now I'm going out when it's best for me. But another weird thing sort of happened. So remember how I was talking about the tripod that I used? Let's see if I can get the clamp off here. So I use these clamps here. They open, phone goes in, shut, holds it in. So these clamps are great because you can mount them onto basically any tripod and use your phone instead, and you don't have to buy like a special tripod or anything like that. However, you have to be really careful about where you place these on the phone. Otherwise, you can accidentally stop recording, or what happened in the case of that morning when I went out to Kettle Point, I somehow switched to slow mode on my video, and I don't know if I've ever been more surprised to come back and see video than me trying to talk about that sunrise, and all of a sudden it sounded like this. We've been lucky. We've had a few it was just so frustrating to have that happen. I was able to recover some of the video by taking it and speeding it up by like 400%. And it recovered the audio, and it sounded fine, and my voice sounded like my voice sounds, but a lot of what I filmed that morning ended up not being usable in the video. Again, another morning where I'm going to focus on sunrises. Yes, my favorite topic. I've got a good forecast. I've got everything lined up. I get to my location, and this tripod, well, this tripod did not make it with me. I left it in the car. I left it at home, and so I didn't have it in my car. And so now I don't have a tripod for my phone, which is an important part of doing these videos and doing them well. But fortunately, I did have something. Remember how I talked about I used to use a gimbal when I started these? So I had this DJI gimbal, which many people love. I think it's mostly just me. It's not you. It's me. It's not my favorite. I don't totally love using it. I think I can be more effective and efficient with the tripod than I can be with the gimbal, but I had it in the car. So I plugged it in and I charged it for like 15 minutes and I get out. But the battery's already low. So now I'm racing against the clock, trying to get as much as I can before the sunrise comes up on the gimbal as I can, but then the battery, it just dies. And so my phone and the gimbal just keep falling over and over and over. And so eventually I just had to ditch it. But I got some good shots with it before it died after like 15 minutes of using it. And these are the problems that I've been running into. But something that I learned from all the work that I've done professionally is that no matter where you are, things are going to go wrong. Problems are going to come up, and it's our job as creatives to figure out how to move through those problems and still have a quality product at the end. And so I hope you're all feeling that way about this video. If you can relate to some of the issues that I've had, if you yourself are either making a channel or trying something new, let me know, leave a comment. Tell me if you've had a struggle as well, because I sure have. But I know that at the end of the day, that if I have my camera with me and I bring my phone with me, and hopefully everything else is charged and ready to go, I'm gonna keep going out and making these videos because it has been so enjoyable to go out and do it. So hope you enjoyed hearing a little bit about what has happened on this journey, the things that have gone well, and a lot of the things that have gone wrong on the way. Thanks for watching, and if you can, just one last thing, leave a comment, like the video, subscribe. Those things will go a really long way as I keep building this channel for the weeks to come. And when I am back out, which will be soon, I'll see you then.